Greg, go.
No, I don't want to do that to John. I feel
No,
I don't want to do
Greg,
that to
go.
John. Now it's going to look like I'm putting down white people last.
You look like the people.
This is the modern day world we live in.
I get a second opinion.
For me, my experience with it was I thought it was a pretty perfect film.
I liked it a lot the first time. I honestly liked it more this time. Like I was saying yesterday, it felt a little long.
Okay.
And this time I felt like it flew by.
And I laughed, I cheered. There was definitely surprises that I wasn't expecting. A lot of really great action.
I don't think there was any other way that they could have handled it more tastefully, in a way that was meaningful, and helpful for, fans of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
So I thought it was powerful.
I think that everything the casting crew wanted to execute in terms of communicating their pain and their journey with losing Chadwick, I think they executed that.
I'm sure it's all been said already.
The whitest guy go first.
That's right. People want to hear my opinion. People want to hear
Raising the bar on this one.
What's interesting is that it's almost not acting. It's real. These people were mourning the loss of Chadwick Boseman, their friend. So in a way, like this amazing acting that we see, every single actor did an incredible job. It's real. It's like real raw emotions captured on film, which is just beautiful and sad at the same time. It's a very emotional film, incredibly emotional. All right, so I just got out of the theater watching Black Panther Wakanda Forever. There's a poster right there. I'm so overwhelmed with emotion, and I don't even know how I feel right now. So I'm gonna ask a bunch of other creators how they feel as we're all coming out here, and give you kind of a YouTuber reaction to everything. Brandon Davis here, Comfort.com, P0 Podcast, awesome dude. Your second time, what were your thoughts first time and this time?
I liked it a lot the first time. I honestly liked it more this time. Like I was saying yesterday, it felt a little long.
Okay.
And this time I felt like it flew by.
Yeah.
It kind of I was able to kind of just sit back and appreciate it, because the first time I watched it, I was really kind of focused on Chadwick and the loss of Chadwick. It does, you feel his absence in the movie. And this second time around, like I was able to just focus on the characters that are there. The tributes to him are great, and they're in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the characters, like the performances in this one, Angela Bassett, Denai Guerrera, Letitia Wright, and Tenoch Huerta is
Oh gosh, a new Marvel favorite for sure.
a
Yeah.
villain who just actually gets to really do some stuff, and the performance is great.
A cold film.
Yeah, cool. The soundtrack was great. I mean, I really liked it. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, well, hey, thanks from the man himself, BD. You guys can follow him on Twitter, and P0 Podcast, follow them as well.
Hey, keep following Warren. He knows what he's doing.
So, we'll talk about the Dr. Doom post. No, just kidding. Don't expect that.
Red Hulk.
I've got Greg, John, Aaron, Real Rejects here. Awesome guys. Everybody should know who they are. If you don't, follow them.
Who doesn't know who we are?
Warren.
I'll just leave them. You just take over from here.
You don't know who we are. You clearly don't have a social life if you
Let
don't
me
know.
just get beneath these guys here. What did we think of the? What did we get to think of the film here?
That's right. Stay there.
What is it? You want me to lay down? What did you think? We'll start with John.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
Metal.
I'm sure it's all been said already.
The whitest guy go first.
That's right. People want to hear my opinion. People want to hear
Raising the bar on this one.
Hey, am I doing this? Is this happening?
You're doing this.
Wow, it's so close. It's intense. I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it had a lot of moving elements to it, as far as like you really felt the loss of Chadwick while watching this movie, and there was a lot of action. It was a lot funnier than I expected it to be. I think that overall, you do feel the loss of Chadwick over the course of the movie. There's a lot of really good surprises, a lot of very powerful moments. I think it has one of the most moving post-credit scenes of any Marvel movie that we've seen in the last 12 years.
I would agree. It got me. The ending and the post-credit got me. So, all right, thank you, Aaron. We're gonna ignore John. No, we're gonna ignore Greg. Go.
No, I don't want to do that to I
No,
don't want to do
go-
that to
go.
John.
White
It's gonna
people
look like I'm
last.
putting down white people last.
You look like the people
This is the
of Telecom.
modern day
You are
world
next.
we live in.
I get a second opinion.
Take mine as well. Here,
We're just
please.
gonna cut these two out anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I almost don't want to talk with anyone about it, to be honest, because I thought it was, for me, my experience with it was I thought it was a pretty perfect film. Like, other than, the only thing I'd say is, like, there's a couple of moments where you're like, yeah, that CGI looks a little off, but what movie doesn't have that? Well, every movie has
Are
it.
you talking about like at the end fight?
Yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, a little bit like,
It's not.
Almost
It's
like
not
an
Marvel
anime-
Phase 4
weird
if
anime.
we're not complaining about the CGI. Let's
I know,
be
but
honest.
every great movie with CGI, even will
It's
have a
bare-
moment where you're like,
it's-
that CGI's off.
It's barely noticeable.
Yeah,
It's
but
barely.
I was, I thought it was the most moving MCU movie ever, and it quickly, it's just my cup of tea. It's so emotional, but also badass. It's like, it's a movie about grief, but it's also so badass at the same time. Like, I don't know how you did it, but you did it. And then I thought the acting was phenomenal. I think it's probably the best acting out of any Marvel movie from on. I can't think of an MCU movie where the acting is this good. I think Angela Bassett deserves Oscar consideration for her work.
True that. Step out of the way, guys. Let me handle this.
Martin Freeman.
Martin. Not enough Everett Ross, okay? I had nothing to relate to. No, I think this does a really beautiful job of taking the real life grief and then infusing it with a geopolitical war movie that does complement the tone and style of the first film, but very much blends the personal and the overarching huge action stakes. Like it's a perfect blend of both, and it really is a movie about watching a bunch of people process and come to terms with grief. In a surprisingly, still Marvel movie package that finds a great balance between the two. It's got, much more of that really weighty, heavy drama than you'd expect from a normal MCU movie, but it has all the thrills and all the excitement that you would want so that it doesn't feel like a totally somber experience on top of that. So I couldn't compliment it enough, really.
Yeah, it stays throughout the film. It's not like, oh, let's have a sad thing in the beginning.
And
It
then-
is
right,
like,
and then move past
There's a
it.
pall
It's- yeah.
over the
Yeah,
entire
yeah,
proceedings, and it obviously
there's
comes
some for our video. Jesus, John.
Sorry, I didn't want to give
all our opinions.
Be sure to subscribe
to the Real Rejects. Us white guys gotta stick together.
We're gonna do John.
We're gonna cut this out. All right, and now I'm here with the lovely Achara.
Hello.
What did you think?
I really, really enjoyed it. It was incredibly moving. I cried a fair bit. Yeah, and I laughed. I cheered. There was definitely surprises that I wasn't expecting. A lot of really great action. Like they put it together in such a way where it felt like a fitting tribute to Black Panther, to T'Challa, to Chadwick Boseman, while still kind of being its own movie and moving on in a really beautiful way.
I like how you put that. Like it's still being its own movie. That it really is. But at the same time, they do a great job honoring Chadwick.
Yeah.
It is quite moving in many different ways.
Yeah, and super fun. Very, very fun.
It is a really fun movie. I don't think people are going to walk out of this movie going, I don't know if people can say it sucked.
No,
Yeah,
I don't think so.
really. Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, it's definitely different from Black Panther because
Sure, yeah.
when that movie came out, I think it took a lot of us by surprise,
Yeah.
and it was just so different, and so it set the template. And this one carries on from that, but obviously, like we know the world, we know the characters now, and we just get more of an opportunity to spend time with them, which is great. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it.
Awesome, thank you, Achara. And you can follow her on Jaby's channel as well. We'll put that down below. We're here with Jaby. A lot of people know him because I know they've mentioned him many times on my channel. We're not here with Craig. We're here with Jaby.
Greg's over there, working around.
And your thoughts?
I really liked it a lot. I felt like for 2 hours and 40 minutes, for me, the movie moved along in a way that I didn't feel the pace. I think that for it being a follow-up film without Chadwick Boseman, it actually held its own really, really well.
Yeah.
So,
That was a big concern going in. Like,
yeah.
will we really feel the absence of Chadwick? Did you feel the absence, and did it hold it back, you think?
I mean, nothing can be done about that. I think their handling of it was the best that could be expected. Like, I don't think there is any other way that they could have handled it more tastefully, in a way that was meaningful, and helpful for, fans of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
So I thought it was powerful.
They did handle his passing and his, not only in real life but in the MCU, quite beautifully.
Yeah.
And tastefully. And I really think, like you said, they kind of did the best they could.
Yeah.
With what they had.
Yeah. No, I have no complaints with regards to how they handled that at all. I have complaints, but I'm not going to talk about them here.
Next video, you'll have to watch it on his channel.
Yeah, they're minor. They're minor, but like overall, I really enjoyed this film. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, be sure to follow Jaby. I'll put everyone's links down below.
Okay, thanks.
All right, now we got my man Eman. It's his second time seeing it as well because he was at the premiere last night. Eman's, you started the Recast T'Challa movement.
Yeah.
So I know this movie was very important to you.
Yes.
Going in. So you've seen it twice now.
Yes.
Thoughts?
Wow. So keeping it spoiler free. Still very emotional. I think that everything the casting crew wanted to execute in terms of communicating their pain and their journey with losing Chadwick, I think they executed that. I am still conflicted emotionally, and a lot of that has to do with fusing real life trauma into fiction. Because normally, let's say Tony Stark, right? Tony Stark dies, spoiler alert, sorry.
Come on, man.
You don't feel as conflicted emotionally because Robert Downey's fine, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that like every time they would have a line about T'Challa, it sounded like they were talking about Chadwick. So I just think that, depending on your level of attachment to Chadwick or T'Challa or the franchise, that's going to determine how hard this is going to hit you or not. So that's why I tell people, like, look, I feel the way I feel because I've been incredibly attached to this. I mean, T'Challa was my favorite superhero. Chadwick was one of my favorite actors. So I'm clearly going to be more sensitive about certain things when they happen. But at the same time, I totally understand how it's still a process, for people to go through, as grief is. Everyone doesn't go through grief the same way. I will say that the awkwardness, the uncomfortability that I kind of went through was the fact that, like, when Chadwick passed, I cried. I bawled out. Like, it hurt, and I had my 2 years to kind of, like, deal with it. And then coming back to the movie, I mean, those type of wounds don't really close, but it was like poking right back at it.
Yeah,
reopen it a little bit. So I was just like, again?
There's some scenes in there where I was like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
You're like, exactly what's about to happen, and you're like, yep.
Right.
Just bring it on.
Right. But I will say that despite any creative differences I might have disagreed with, I still am appreciative of the fact that they tried to find some common ground. So my impression right now is there's a lot of legwork that needs to be done with the ending. So whatever they have with the ending, I'm not trying to spoil it, they better build the hell out of that. That's where I'm at with it, right? So I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, and I'm gonna keep my eye on what happens in the future.
I think I'm with you on that. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now do it.
Yes, that's it.
So as you can see, I really didn't know how I felt coming out of the theater. There are some absolutely incredible scenes in this movie. Namor is fantastic. One of the best MCU villains ever, like ever, up there. Like really top 3, top 5, something. He's just up there. Amazing. And the cast is incredible. Everyone's performance is incredible. I truly did enjoy this movie. I don't think anyone's gonna say it sucked. I did feel the absence of Chadwick and T'Challa, right? I felt the absence, and I'm trying to get around that. I think that's my biggest curve right now with this movie. And make no mistake, this is the best movie they could have made with the circumstances they were put in, with losing Chadwick Boseman. Since that happened, this is the best movie they could have made. It is, but I couldn't help but to notice his absence. But as you can tell from these creators' reactions and slash my personal friends, some think it's perfect, some think it's great, some think it's good. I don't think anyone's gonna walk away not at least thinking this movie is good. But again, to me, I felt that hole. But make no mistake, the scenes that we see, the action that we see, the acting that we see is fantastic. It's on another level, and it really is the best they could have done. And I can't wait for everybody to see it and let me know what they thought about it as well. And leave your thoughts about all these reactions in the comments down below and how excited you are to finally see Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I'll catch you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Woof woof.